The Kilo 1 Oscar Yankee, Quebec, Evans, Georgia.
What was the call again in Georgia?
Kilo 1 Oscar Yankee, Quebec, K10YQ.
Roger, what part of Georgia?
We're down here in Evans, Georgia, which is right next to Augusta, Georgia.
I see. And what's the name there?
Name here is Pete, Papa Echo Tango Echo, over.
Roger, Pete. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running a FLEX-6400M right now, and feeding that into an SPE 1.3K amplifier and running approximately about 300 watts right now, 300 to 400 watts, over.
Roger that. Let me just see here. I think my Atlanta SDR is open, just out of curiosity. Come back and tell me about your antenna system, sir.
Okay, yeah. I'm using my antenna's end-fed antenna up about, maybe 25, 30 feet the most. Kind of an inverted L configuration. And strung out and running that into a PAL-Star tuner. I don't really need it on 40 meters, but I dress it up a little bit with the PAL-Star tuner, over.
Roger that. Well, you're coming in about, looks to be about 15 over on my north-south mag loop antenna. So it's doing you a great job. And what you say you're running how much? Running about 300, 400 watts. Oh, I thought you were up around 1400.
No, I'm running low power on it right now.
Roger, that sounds good. Sounds really good. Your dynamic range looks like where it should be, about 3 dB, Roger.
Okay, I guess the audio, what I was interested in to see if the amplifier is changing my audio at all.
Would you want to go 10 count and go to, well, that's hard to tell, because it's very subjective thing. When you lose, the power amp, the signal goes down, and so you really have to try to divorce yourself from the lower, or losing that much power, and try to concentrate on the voice. But I'll do that if you'll give me, say, a 5 count, and then at 5 reduce dump your box, go to standby on your box, and continue counting, and I'll try to see what happens with the audio, Roger.
All right, let me do that. Here's a count with everything set up as is as we first started. We're testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, backing about, maybe 5 or 6 inches away from the microphone, running a PR781 into the Flex with an equalizer. So we're going to turn the amplifier off. Now we're running barefoot 100 watts, same exact setup, didn't change anything other than turning the amplifier off and reducing power down to 100 watts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over.
Roger, I didn't notice much difference, but the best way to do that is just to count to 10, and at 5, go to standby on the box. And can you do that, or do you need to retune your radio? Standby, Mobile.
I'm not using the Vox at all right now. I'm just using foot pedal.
No, I don't mean Vox. I mean your box, your linear. The thing is, we want to get an A/B test just as quickly as we can. So the best way is you do a 10 count, and at 5, you just put the box on standby. Hit standby. We dump the box, and you continue counting till 10. Roger.
Okay, I can do that. Let's go. We'll give it a try. This is the amplifier on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No amp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, that wasn't no amp. Let me try that. Let me try another count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 without beeping.
Hey, Pete?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is we want to hear the difference right in the middle of your count. So if you count up to 5, dump the box, and you continue counting. You don't even stop your cadence in your count. You're counting 1 to 10, but at 5, you put the box in standby. Roger?
Okay, I can't do that. I have to unkey to do that. Is that going to interfere with anything?
Gosh, I wouldn't think you would have to unkey to go to standby. I think you could just pause. Just pause for a second. That's all you got to do. You don't need to actually do anything, just so long as you're not exiting or exciting the box when you go to standby.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Close enough. I don't hear any difference. The amp seems to be very linear, which is a good thing. A lot of times, sometimes folks try to get that last amount of power out, and they don't have enough bias. And when they get loaded all out there, 1,400 watts, it sounds like, yeah, because they haven't left room for the audio, and a linear box has to breathe, just like on heat circulation. The box has to breathe. I put mine on a pedestal, a 4-foot pedestal. There's nothing around it, just the box itself. It's like a shrine almost, and that's what you want. You don't want to bury your box back in some cubby hole where you can't get circulation. Air is tremendously important to the operation of a linear. You're talking about a kilowatt or so spotlight, and so would you put a kilowatt spotlight inside an overhang and sink it back in somewhere? You want to put it out where it can breathe, and I put just an exhaust fan, an additional exhaust fan right on top of the tubes to try to suck more of that heat out, but otherwise it's just all by itself. Roger?
Right, yeah, I agree with that 100%. This one's pretty much in the open. It's got at least, it's open on all 3 sides and the back. It's a solid state amplifier also, so it doesn't generate quite as much heat as the tube-type amplifiers. But it's got a what do you call it, a switching power supply in it, and just curious if that makes any kind of a difference on it at all. I've had tube-type amplifiers before. This is the first solid state. I've had it for a while, but I really like it, and just curious if it was distorting audio whatsoever, and so that's a good sign that it's not. Give me the call sign one more time, and give me your, I didn't catch the name either. So let me get a pencil here, and I can write that info down and put you in the lot.
We've still got the jammer on the line. The name here is Jim Juliet India Mike. The call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. And if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And on that page you'll be looking for one Qso in particular, and the name would be My Group Aircheck 12/13/19. Today's date. My Group Aircheck 12/13/19. Roger?
Roger that. Okay, we'll do that. And thank you very much for helping me out with that. So other than that, the audio sounds pretty good then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think you've got it going on there. And like I say, and you're at 300 watts right now?
Yes, I'm got it down low power, and it's going up as high as 400 watts, but averaging probably 250, 300.
Excellent. Yeah, it sounds beautiful. No problems at all. And just out of curiosity, do you run a reverse AOC line back from the power amp to your radio?
No, you don't have to do that on these SPEs and with the Flex, because I can control the power with basically the Flex and the SPE are connected together, and there's a setting that you can put in the SPE that the Flex looks at, and it limits the power of the Flex, kind of like ALC, but it actually sets the drive level for the low, mid, and high power settings on the amplifier and the Flex. If I turn the amp to operate, it just automatically sets those values in, and I can't exceed them. Now, I can't exceed them. I have to go in and physically change on the SPE the drive settings if I want to get more or less drive out.
Roger that. That's neat. It's just amazing, the technology today, and particularly solid state amps. I'm not really familiar with those. All of my life has been tube type, so it would be a learning curve. When you get familiar with something, sometimes it's hard to start learning new tricks for old dogs. Roger.
Yeah, I understand. Is that a jammer up just up band from us?
Yes, sir. It's been there for the last couple of hours.
Yeah, I noticed that. I've been monitoring this frequency for a while, and was monitoring the net on there before, and I can hear this. It sounds like an airplane in the background on my radio, but I just looked at my pan adapter. I just opened the pan adapter wider, and I see a really wide signal up there. So it must be, is that the over-the-horizon radars?
No, I think it's a mentally ill amateur radio operator. How wide is that signal?
Golly, it's going I see it from 7,200 all the way right down to just the top of us, 188.